And I know people don't like challenge. Oh my God, no, please don't challenge us. No. Don't be Trump, be Obama. I know, but without challenges in life, we cannot move forward. We cannot go further in our life. So I'm not going to share all the challenges here so that you all just run away right away. But I'm going to share one challenge right here so that you know why these challenges are important. Are you interested to know what? Sure. Thank you. I'm going to talk to you now. So, for past 25, 30 years, maybe 40 years, in my observation, not before that, but this something that I'm about to share just spread all over. Through every marketing book, even the textbooks, through business books, through a lot of speakers and gurus and teachers, great teachers. I mean, I respect them, I'm not against anyone. And the message goes, first impression is the last impression. And just so many people hold it so tight, and I take 100%, if not full responsibility. This statement has something to do with the bull thing. It's not true. It's 100% not true. The world does not work that way, but masses take this message so hard and hold it so much and limit themselves because first impression is the last impression, whereas the masters knows that they have the power to change that impression. They live in a different world. So they have control on the second or the third impression or the fourth impression. And once you have that good impression, then you can build that up. Let me give you an example. You can say, okay, that's very nice, mister, what you just said. You just blew up past 45 years. Everybody have just wrote about it. So here are two kids who just went to kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And on the very first day, they had a fight. You chew my pencil. You broke my rubber. Mm-hmm. And then teachers couldn't help them, separate them in every class because they just couldn't stand with each other, just fighting all the time. Obviously, it was a bad impression. The first impression was the bad. So for first 4 or 5 years in that school, they just couldn't stand each other. They just wanted to see each other. And then one day, someone in junior school, they were standing in a bus station or rain was standing. So the one says, you can take my umbrella. And the other came over also. You want to have a piece of gum? Yeah, why not? And they chewed the gum and they became friends. And then they remained friends up until the end of their high school, when they were having the group studies. Tomorrow's a presentation, I'm going to do the best thing. They were sharing the ideas enthusiastically, everybody just ready. But next morning, one of them got A+, another was just blew up. I mean, I don't want to share the grade. And then that night they had fight again. You stole my ideas. Those are my ideas. You just presented them, and I just couldn't get that. And the other, who got A+, he said, you stole my ideas as well. You just didn't present well. You just blew up. I mean, take that. You have second chance. It's not the end of the world. No, I never want to see you again. So the second time they fought again, and then they didn't speak with each other for many, many years. And then one day, when they grew up, they met each other maybe on a bus station, in a church, or some meeting or somewhere. But they just came closer to each other. Hi, how you doing? Want to try a piece of a gum? And the other says, yeah, why not? And start chewing it. They become friends again. And guess what? They got married, and they had many, many times, I love you and I hate you, I love you and hate you. But that's how they spent 60 years together, and then they went away. That's one example. And that's two relationship. Talk about something in the real world. But if you just read a little bit history, France and Germany and England and Ireland and many, even Spain and Ecuador, you read all those countries were brutal enemies. They grew up. They had those bad impressions of each other. You killed our ancestors. You did this to us. But today it's all peace. In fact, the World War II, the biggest thing that happened in World War II in Nagasaki, Hiroshima, atomic bomb. Mm-hmm. Japan and the United States were the brutal enemy of the world. So that's the biggest thing. I cannot give you the bigger example than this. Within 10 years, they found no. They have to be together. They have to find something, so this cannot happen. And I think even today, they're one of the best friends. So I know there are some people, when I speak to the people and I say, you have this business, well, you should go to China. You should look over the Chinese. They have that bad impression for whatever they read someone or just personally with someone. Not really. Well, that's 1.6 billion people. I'm not talking about a niche market to open. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, yeah.
And then other people, I don't like Indians because, they're just too much curry and that smell, man. That's 1.3 billion people. It's not even a small market either. And other people say Arabs, oh, well, that's 750 million people. And we know that in this country that, recently the Spanish is going a lot, and that's 600 million people. So many people just limit themselves. Where do you want to do the business? US, Canada, and Europe, that's it. There are other places. If you want to grow your business, you have to be out of the box. And you have to let go this phrase of first impression is last impression. And once again, according to numbers, 90% of the time, first impression is not the impression that you really wanted to give. Only 10% of the time, you meet the right person at the right time and giving the right message, the person impress, tell me what you have. But 90% it's blew up.
So the masters knows that the first impression is not the last impression. If it is not good, let's do our homework, find out everything about that person, that company, or whatever. Let's do something and have the second impression that would make them really come close to us. And that's what we're seeing in the business world also. All the businesses who've been competitive with each other for years, if not decades. And then they're taking their clients, and then they're taking their clients. And it's fight, and people are seeing that. In the end, they have mergers. If you go and you check the mergers, recent merger is AT&T and Warner Cable. For decades, brutally fighting competitors, bad impression, busted away. They met each other somewhere in the Starbucks. Hey, why not have all of them? Let's merge. And then they did. And today, all the Warner Brothers and all that are together.
So, what I'm about to share is that how this first impression, if you couldn't give the first impression the good, but now you go for the second impression or maybe the third impression, if you cannot have that third impression yourself, it's better to hire someone who can have that impression for you on them, but you want to have that. Why? Because once you have that good impression on someone, it's your responsibility to maintain that. Once you have that good impression, your clients feel secure. If your clients are not feeling secure, they are just there hanging around, they don't know what's going on. And I know that a lot of people I met in past 10, 15 years, and I see that they have a lot of followings that, we were just talking about it. They have fan clubs. They don't have that community, they don't have that real network. That tells me to tell them that your whatever the network or community that whatever that you believe in, they're not feeling secure yet. Your first impression that you put on them, you did not maintain that. To the level you maintain that good impression on your clients is the level of their trust on you. Trust is everything in business. The second you don't have that trust, it's called ripping off. And last I read, ripping off is stealing. And I haven't met anyone who did not agree, thou shalt not steal. Everyone. So you have to have that trust building. So you make people feel secure. The level of their security make them trust you. The more trust you have, the more business you have. And another thing, when you have that trust built, they see your business and you as an honest business, honest person. And all the people around the world, not just your client, who are also honest, they love you. And all the people around you who are not 100% honest, doing this and that a little bit, but they want to be like you. They respect you. They get inspiration from you. They want to be like you. And all the people around you in the world who are dishonest and want to remain dishonest, they hate you. And that's okay. You cannot get everyone from everything from everyone.
So, the phrase that you want to change in your mind is that you can change the impression. You have the power if you want to. Then sticking with the same phrase, the first impression, the last impression, is most certainly not. So that's with the one challenge that I tell people, and I know people stand up and say, all right, but I give you enough examples that it's not true. And I have a list of these things that I call the bad education, which I actually teach during the DINAMIKA class with the school that I'm building. And within 90 days, we help people go through all these bad education and then literally live them, not just, listen to about them. So you can talk about to me if you want to know about that later. I can show you my other programs about that. So enough with that. And if you just take this from tonight from this talk, I think that would be great. Your homework is that go home, just make a list of 5 people that you think have bad impression on you or you left bad impression on them. But you had that first ice breaking. If you go and you say hi to them, they will say hi back to you because they already know you. Just make 5 and then just think about what can I do to make this person have that second impression even better. That's what all these big businessmen do. That's what all these masters do, and that's how they have the business mergers, because they want to give themselves and other people a second chance. All you need is the love. Whoever said that, I love that.
The Beatles.
Thank you. Because this is what they are looking. And this is what you are looking. But that first impression thing is just stopping you. You go ahead and do that, you will thank me later how many doors will open by just meeting someone who had just bad impression of you. They would just want to come back to you. Makes sense. And then I said, oh my God, if this is it, how can I help this message go to the world? That was the time when that quest started inside me, why so many businesses fail, and what can I do for that? And I left, my country, and now I'm reading books, and that's the time of internet and Amazon. I'm downloading books, I'm learning. YouTube started, I'm getting from there. There are public speakers, I'm reaching them. I'm trying to learn everything about the businesses. And once again, I know now that how many people don't know, that they don't know that there is something missing. Everybody's talking, you have to start from the why, you have to start from the vision, you have to have a dream. And can you see all of this that I'm sharing with you? I don't have any dream. Life itself is pushing me, doing something to me, merging me within a dream. See, I'm one of the person, is one of my another challenge, that I believe that nobody has a dream. There is a dream somewhere in the cosmos that is having you. If you have something inside you, and everybody has that, and if you have something inside you to respond to that dream and you stand up, you can make that dream manifest. It's not that you have a dream and then you go behind it. If everybody has to come and tell you, you gotta have a dream, well, there is a dream inside you, or there's a dream somewhere that is pulling you, asking you for many, many years, and you may be rejecting it because I don't love that or I don't have that. You do, because that dream is going to stay with you for a long time. It's going to be a voice inside you, and if you don't, one day it's going to be transferred to someone else, and it happens. Anyways, I'm studying, and now I said, let me focus on other side, and let's see, is there any other area of education where success rate of professionals is higher? And that's where my real research started of my own. And I said, let me check the doctors. And I see in every medical school all over the world, some places it's 5 years medical school, India and Pakistan. Some areas is 6 years Europe, some area is 8-9 years like China, and somewhere like US, it's 12 years that you become doctor. So for first 5-6 years in US, a medical student would study everything about medicine through books, through case studies, through their professors, through surgeons, through greater doctors. But then after that, they have to go in a real world hospital emergency ward right there, boom. That's how their career starts. For another 6 years, they have to see the blood coming out of the people, the legs are broken, the brain is coming out. If they can't take that, if their hands are shaking, they're not good. Their seniors will come and tap their shoulder. Man or gentleman, this is not a right profession for you. It's time to change.
That's enough? This is not for you. Or you will have to get better at it. So for 6 years now they have a practical education. Remember those families? They're giving a practical education. The doctors are getting for 6 years practical education. Why? Because it's a matter of someone's life. Imagine someone studied everything about medicine, read everything on it, took all the online podcasts, have every app on his cell phone, but have never touched a person's pulse, would you go and say, just do, check my nerves and tell me? Or do an open heart surgery? Or think like a child. Come up with your own ideas. How can you do your own open heart surgery and you become a great surgeon? The world will cry, no, you haven't done that. Even if you do that, the dummy thing, which is now in many medical schools, they will still not allow. No, because you haven't done that on a real person. So it's a matter of life. They won't allow you to do that. Okay, I said, let me go and see what's going on with the accountants. I went into the accounting school. I start checking all the curriculums all over the world in different universities. So you do your debit and credit and liabilities and balance sheets and everything for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years in a university. And after that you have to go out and find your own accountancy firm. You apply there, and for another 4 years, day and night and late night, you do the debit and credit and balance sheets for 4 years before you become a chartered accountant. And all those chartered accountants who fail, they fail within the first 2 years of that practical education and go home and they say, we give up, we can't do that. And those who survive for the 3rd year, the 4th year, they become the chartered, and chartered accountants get the highest salary in the world. That's why. They have the hardest practical education, not the book education. And I'm making notes. I said, oh my God, I'm on something, I'm getting something. I said, let me go and take a look at the lawyers. The lawyers, even the first year of their education, which is from the book, and they read the fattest book, but from the first year, they have to have a suit and tie and everything. They are ready. They have to go in a real court, in front of a real judge, and they have real criminals sitting with them that they are fighting, and they have to come up with their own answers, whether this person is criminal or not, or whatever that is, and they have to speak up to the Your Honor, my point is this, and can I get... So from the first year, they want to have that confidence, they want to have that personality, Can you speak, can you fight, can you immediately come up with a new idea that can change the case upside down? If not, all the lawyers who are looking at you, they say, I don't want to have it in my account, after that. And someone who's very upfront, showing that he's someone, they would say the secretary, start telling him to come in our office, we want to have him as So the lawyers for 4 years, the way they become, or 5 years in some cases, they have to be in real court. Their practical education is day in, day out, and it's very stressful.
One more research, and I said, let me see the pilots. And I found the pilots would only study 2 hours, and rest of the 15 hours in a week, they have to be in the backseat of that plane, where they are in the air, right? 15 days, right from the beginning. So the more the profession is practical, the more the practical education is emphasized on them, and they have to go through it. If they cannot take the heights, they're not good with that. They cannot control their nerves. They know the avion is going down. Man, you can't be pilot. Sorry, better try helicopter or something. You can't be. So the more it's practical, the more education was practically given to them. So 1 year you get the license to fly a plane, is because out of those 1 year, maybe 300 days, you are actually flying the plane. And I said, that's it. And I started looking all the business programs, whether it's Oxford, whether it's Harvard, whether any university in the world, whether any MBA in the world. Where is the practical? Wherever in the world you go for a business education, there are case studies upon case studies, there are books upon books, there are presentations upon presentations. They think like a child, come up with your own ideas. Yes, you can. There's an entrepreneur inside you. Yes, you can do it. And you can be the next big thing. Yeah, I have this, there's a problem, we're gonna do that. Great, we're gonna help you get paid. Let's bring the panel of investors. Investors are sitting over there. Yeah, okay, not you one, not that one. Okay, take my $5 million, and that's gone. And then in 15 days, the money's gone. Because that child haven't went outside and made a single dollar with his own. Because it's not a matter of life, you give him tons of money to come up with your own ideas and do that, but you haven't checked that this person is good at business or not. Have you given him the training or not? other people have well and now you need their water, you have to be a little bit down, the first impression thing. You have to have now a good impression, you have to now be honest, you have to make them secure, you have to develop that trust with them. We're not doing that, we're not teaching that. And then we're just saying who's going to be the next page, who's going to be next. We are very good at technology, we're not doing business. We're not teaching our entrepreneurs how to make money, we're teaching them everything else. We have great people in this country with great ideas, but they haven't went outside and make a single dollar with their money. You give them that money, they go out the room, they lost money. Multi-billion dollars are lost every year alone in US. I don't know if you guys know, Kickstarter in April had 10 years completed. 162 backers, 162 million backers on Kickstarter. People who back different projects. Only 20,000 of projects ever succeed. I don't know if you guys know or not, last year someone started a company of its online, kickfurther.com. What is that? You took the money from Kickstarter, you blew up, now come to the further, we gave you again, and then you blew up again. I can predict that very soon we will have a website, kickalltheway.com. So you keep failing, keep getting money, keep failing, we keep funding. Because most people think my life is not good, my business is not good because I'm not getting fund. It's not the fund, it's the skills, a set of skills. You have to do the practical, you have to learn through practical. When you become that strong person, every investor is looking to invest in people with skills and not with someone who had great ideas. So I finally created this DINAMIKA School of Entrepreneurship, which is a 100% non-profit institution. It's free classes. It will remain free. If it won't, then I'm not an honest business. My business is not an honest business. But the thing is, I'm sharing this message for you and other people to go and talk about it. Because if something that I share with you does not good for you, for your children, or the next generation, or the people who do not have second chance in life, they only have chance to take this course, 100 days, they make that money in 100 days, 100 students all together, and then we give them graduation certificate. If they don't, they can take the course again, it's free, but you're not graduate because you haven't done that practically, earned that.